Hey, and I'm back. Welcome to another episode of Out of the Darkness and Into the Light. I'm back here again with nature, natural. Everything's beautiful. Everything is just on point. Everything's on key. Nature is back in tune to nature. We have the birds in the background, the cranes. They're over in a zone which was flooded with a lot of water. And when the water was there, they were standing in the water feeding off of whatever was in the grass and accumulated in the puddle of water. Now that the water's semi-dried up, they're still over in the muddy part of the water, where the water used to be, and they're feeding on that what's left embedded in the soil and in the grass. Isn't nature beautiful? And so all the birds are out. There's a couple of gopher turtles. I don't know if we could see him now. He was moving about over there somewhere. And from a distance, we had the iguanas. The iguanas was out. There's some huge iguanas over here. And they're out, and they're letting us know that, the water came, the storm came, but after the storm, there's life after the storm. And we hope that those that were affected by the storm continue to have life after the storm. I know there was a lot of devastation because of the storm, and there was a lot of hurricanes because of the storm. And one region had just recently recovered from a hurricane, and another hurricane came. And so we send out our deepest condolences, our deepest sympathy to those who are affected by the adverse weather. And we're sending out positive energy toward that whole environment, that they would receive the help that they need. And oftentimes when the Americans need help, the American government really don't step in the way we think they should step in or intervene as the same manner in which they help out foreign countries and foreign nations. And I know it's good diplomacy, and I know it's good to establish allies and allies all over the world, but take care home first. My parents used to say that. Take care home first. So hopefully they're going to do the right thing and take care home first. And we speak against the bureaucracy and red tape of people who have flood insurance and devastation insurance, that it would be a smooth transition, a smooth process, because it's pretty obvious that the natural disaster happened, and so there shouldn't be no reason to postpone any type of funding or any type of support that these people need. And we are America, supposedly the home of the free and the brave, but sometimes we don't see that freedom, and we don't seem too brave when it comes to taking care of our home. When I was a kid, they had a song we used to sing: "This land is your land, this land is my land." From California to the New York Islands. And so I can't remember the rest of the song, but it ended with, "This land was made for you and me." Man didn't make this land. This land was made by the All-Creator, the ultimate source, in which we know exists, the ultimate source. We can give it whatever name we want to give it, but we know there's a source. There's something that created this realm in which we lived in, which is much more superior in intelligence and is much more superior than our peanut brains. The most we can get out of our peanut brains is peanut butter. That's what you do with the peanut brain. You get peanut butter, smooth, and sometimes it's got a little crunchy. George Washington came up with 1,001 uses for the common peanut, so there's nothing wrong with having a peanut brain. You can come up with 1,001 uses how to use that peanut. I'm reminded of a story my mother used to tell. I was a 7-month preemie, and I had a heart murmur, so I was in the hospital for a long period of time as a baby. And she said one of the things happened was they kept me in the incubator too long, and so it darkened my skin. And the nurses used to call me Peanut. I don't know. I was born in the '60s, so they could have been, on the under, calling me, the N-word. Nice. But Peanut, it didn't stick with me long. After that, they started calling me Mr. B. Mr. B. Mr. B. That was my nickname, Mr. B. We want to talk a little bit today, though. We want to talk a little bit today about adversity and trauma. The adversity aspect of it is we all have some type of adversity that we have to deal with and endure, and we all have trauma that we have to endure. And so there's nothing wrong with enduring the adversity, and there's nothing wrong with enduring the trauma. That's what you have to do. You have to endure it. A lot of times we say we're going through something. That's correct. Continue to move forward and go through it. Don't stay stationary and wallowing in the problem. Let's not be like the pigs who waller in the mud to cool down. We don't need to cool down that way. You want to cool down, go get under the air conditioning. Don't waller in the mud. But we all have adversity. The storm created a lot of adversity for people. The freeway systems, the airport systems, the electrical power, and there was a lot of adversity behind that. And with that adversity came trauma. People were traumatized to see trees that have been standing in their yard for years just uprooted, and hearing the sound and witnessing the wind and the sound of tornadoes just coming through zones and areas that they've never came before. I remember when I used to drive trucks over the road, and I would go through what they call Hurricane Alley, out in the flatlands of Kansas City and Wichita. And they call it Hurricane Alley because there was always hurricanes. And Tornado Alley, I said hurricanes, Tornado Alley, because there was always tornadoes that would go through that region when they had heavy rains, and the wind would pick up in the flatlands and create tornadoes. And sometimes, you could be in the city like now and see what they call dust devils. They look like little mini tornadoes. The wind is blowing, and it makes that funnel, and it's collecting all the dust devils, the tornadoes. And so these are natural occurrences, of course, but sometimes through that adversity, we grow strong, and through that adversity we have trauma. And so we're praying for those, and we're sending out love energy to all of those that had to experience that traumatic experience of enduring those storms and all the adversity that they have to endure, trying to recoup and recover monies to restore their houses, those who have houses left, and those that were displaced and their house was totally destroyed by the tornadoes and the hurricane. And we want all the people to know that here on this channel we love you, and we're sending out very positive vibes and positive energy toward you. Just like the hurricanes and the tornadoes had power and energy behind it, we're sending power and energy out toward you. And we really, really have the most heartfelt sympathy for those who have been affected. You never know until it's you. Everybody's excited because it wasn't them. But one day it could be you. And we hope that day never comes, but we don't know. So remember, adversity and trauma, we all go through it, we all deal with it, and there's nothing wrong with it. And the other thing I wanted to say before I leave you is self-compassion. Compassion for yourself. We have a lot of compassion for others, and there's nothing wrong with that. We have a lot of compassion toward our family members, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when are we going to have compassion toward ourselves? Love yourself. No matter what you're going through it. So just love yourself and love on yourself. Treat yourself with respect. Treat yourself with dignity. Hey, go buy yourself a surprise present or a surprise gift. Surprise yourself. Stop being cheap. Go treat yourself. Don't beat yourself, treat yourself. Don't beat yourself, treat yourself. Love on yourself. Have some compassion on yourself. Have some love for yourself. And have compassion and love for your fellow man. Go out today and tell someone you love them. Go out today and show your love to someone. Help an elderly person. Open the door for someone. Smile. At least smile. If you smile, a smile is much better than a frown. Because if you smile, it don't take that many muscles to smile. It takes more muscles and more energy and effort to frown. So why waste all that energy? I thought we was conserving energy. Let's conserve that energy and love on each other. Tell your husband, tell your wife you love them. You don't. It don't have to be a special occasion to tell someone you love them. Tell your kids you love them. Give them a hug. Tell your dog you love them. Your birds. They like love too. That's why they got love birds. You see them always kissing and doing this and that. Because they love. They're in love. They're love birds. They're love birds. So let's continue to move in love. Let's continue to love on one another. Let's continue to pray for those that are affected by the storm. And let's send out love energy. Let's send out compassion energy toward those people. Because they're going through a lot. They're going through a lot. And we don't even know the half of it. We just know that they're going through. And we're glad it's them and not us. But one day, that could be us. So show your love. And I'll talk to you again. I just wanted to briefly make a statement. And I hadn't made a video in a minute. And I wanted to make a longer video and talk about more pertinent stuff and what we're dealing with. And don't forget about the Christos. We ain't been teaching it in a while, but it's still there. It never goes. It's still there. It's there. It's like your eyeballs. It's like your brain. It's going to always be there. Well, at least your brain. And don't forget, I love you. And thank you for tuning in to my channel. And thank you for giving me an ear. Thank you for listening to me. I really appreciate you listening to me. I feel that there's a significant amount of people listening to me, and that's why I continue to make this video. And we're not trying to cause any distinction amongst the brethren or the sisterin or the people or the nation or the nationalities. We're just expressing love. We're talking about mental health and mental behavior and how to deal with it. And this is something that's been swept under the rug for years. And we all suffer from some aspect of mental illness. So there's nothing wrong with mental illness. It's something wrong when we don't address it. It's something wrong when we don't know or have been diagnosed with a particular mental illness. But as the rappers used to say, If you don't know, now you know. N-word, nice person. You thought I was going to say the other N-word, nicety. Oh man, this has been another episode of Out of the Darkness and Into the Light. I just love the way that sounds. I just love the way that feels. I really love the way that just rolls off the tongue.